Welcome to the 10th episode of the A to Z Legal Services podcast with useful, clear, and purpose-driven information.
Welcome to today's deep dive. We are looking at a really dynamic stack of sources today. Everything from, dense California family court statutes to psychological research on high conflict separations.
Yeah, that's a lot to process.
It is. And our mission for you is pretty straightforward. We want to give you a basic plan for navigating a California divorce that, prevents the chaos and anxiety that usually leads to costly decisions.
Right, because you are navigating two wildly different systems at the exact same time.
Yeah.
Like, you've got a rigid legal bureaucracy and a total emotional upheaval.
Absolutely.
So, you don't need a perfect plan on day one, but understanding how the legal clock works alongside your own emotional boundaries, that gives you immediate leverage.
So let's start with that emotional layer, because the psychological research in our sources makes a fascinating point about this.
It really does.
Yeah. When your nervous system is trapped in that fight or flight response, your prefrontal cortex, which is like the logical planning part of your brain, it essentially goes offline.
Right. You literally lose the cognitive bandwidth to comprehend complex legal paperwork.
Exactly.
And that biological reality dictates how you handle the entire divorce. You have to manufacture your own stability first.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Establishing strict communication boundaries with your ex isn't just self-care. It's an actual practical necessity to keep your logical brain functioning.
Okay, but let me challenge that slightly. Like, if you are dealing with a highly combative ex, setting a boundary sounds like, throwing a rock at a hornet's nest.
Well, it can definitely seem that way.
Right. So how do you implement that without just causing way more conflict?
You basically strip the emotion out of the interaction entirely. A highly combative person is, they're often looking for a reaction.
Right. They want the fight.
Exactly. So by limiting communication to brief written exchanges focused purely on logistics, like the kid's schedule or paying a specific bill, you starve the conflict of oxygen.
Oh, wow. So you aren't giving them the dopamine hit of an argument.
Precisely. It shifts the dynamic from a battle of wills to a really boring administrative task.
But wait, what if drawing that hard line actually provokes them to escalate? Does the written communication only rule still apply if you feel, genuinely threatened?
No, and that is the critical exception here. If there is any history of violence, severe harassment, or extreme financial control, safety completely outranks paperwork.
So what's the move then?
In those scenarios, trying to manage the situation with boundaries is just dangerous. Securing a domestic violence restraining order becomes the absolute first step.
That baseline of physical and emotional safety is paramount, especially because the moment you officially engage the court system, this very strict legal machine takes over.
Oh, absolutely. The minute you file, it triggers automatic orders.
Right. And is this essentially a legal freeze ray on your life?
It acts exactly like one. Form FL-110, the summons, it legally locks your financial landscape in place.
Wow.
Yeah. You cannot move money out of accounts or change insurance beneficiaries or, sell off shared assets.
Which I guess stops someone from suddenly draining the joint checking account and fleeing to Vegas out of spite.
Precisely why it exists.
Huh.
The court needs a static picture of your life to divide things fairly.
Right.
And the state enforces that control through very rigid timelines. First, you have to meet a 6-month California residency requirement to even file.
Okay, so that prevents jurisdiction shopping, meaning people can't just move to California to take advantage of specific laws?
Exactly. And once you do file, you can't even hand the papers to your ex yourself.
Wait, really? You can't just give it to them?
No, a third party has to serve them.
Okay, so what happens after the papers are served?
The clock starts for the person receiving them. They have exactly 30 days to respond.
That is a really tight window.
It is. The court imposes it to prevent one party from stalling the divorce indefinitely. If you miss that deadline, you risk a default judgment.
Which means the court can just decide the division of assets without your input, right?
Yeah.
Yikes. And part of that division process involves opening up your books within 60 days of filing.
Right, the mandatory preliminary financial disclosures. Both of you must exchange tax returns, bank statements, and debt records.
Just everything.
Everything. The state forces this transparency early to stop people from hiding assets. But there is a major shift happening in how California handles this whole process.
Oh, right, the 2026 update?
Yes. So starting January 1st, 2026, the state allows a joint petition for cooperative divorces. You can actually file together from day one which, significantly lowers the adversarial temperature.
That is huge. But okay, this strict timeline and mandatory financial deep dive still sounds incredibly expensive.
No, it can be.
Yeah, like if I have 60 days to comb through years of financial history, do I have to, I don't know, drain my remaining cash just to hire a lawyer to manage it?
Not necessarily. I mean, the legal system isn't an all-or-nothing expense. You basically have three practical options here.
Okay, what's the first one?
The first is free court-based self-help centers. These are great for ensuring you filled out basic forms correctly.
Nice. And the second?
The middle ground is limited scope representation. So you hire an attorney a la carte for just the tricky maneuvers.
Like drafting a complex custody agreement.
Exactly.
Okay.
While you handle the basic filings yourself.
So getting professional eyes on the high-stakes issues without paying a massive retainer for the whole case.
You got it.
Yeah.
And the third option, full representation, is really only essential if you face high-risk factors. Things like a business valuation, hidden money, or contested custody.
Ultimately, preparing for this process isn't about knowing every legal loophole. It's about building a stable foundation to prevent unforced errors when you are just emotionally exhausted.
That is exactly right. Keep it simple and protect yourself.
Thank you for joining us. Don't forget that at the end of this episode, we'll share our contact information so you can get additional paralegal guidance. You can call us at 626-510-3339. Email us at info@azlegal.us. Visit us at www.azlegal.us. You can also find us on Facebook and Instagram under our verified profiles as A to Z Legal Services.